This is our first bonus show. I told you a few weeks ago that we're going to be pulling up some shows that we think will bring you guys a load of value and replaying them at random. So to kick it off, we have a show that I recorded back in May. It was released in May. It was show number 424 with a good friend of mine, Rich Tidmarsh. And it's all about the power of believing. Rich is the owner of Reach Fitness in the UK, and it's such great timing because he's just opening his second location in London. He's got one location in Clapham. He's opening a new location in Earlsfield. This guy is all about working hard. He really practices what he preaches. Super motivating guy. So I thought this would be a good show to launch our bonus show series. Enjoy the show with Rich. This is episode number 424 of the Health and Fitness Podcast by InnerFight, brought to you in association with Smith Street Paleo. This is one of the shows that I managed to get during my recent trip to the UK. It was amazing to sit down with Rich Tidmarsh, the founder of Reach Fitness in London. If you are in London, head over to Clapham and have a workout with Rich at his gym. I hope you guys enjoy the show. This is probably one of the longest podcasts incoming. I've been trying to get hold of this guy and nail him down for at least the last 3 years. And to get this show, I've actually had to travel to London. And we're here, Rich Tidmarsh, at his home, Reach Fitness. Mate, thank you so much for making the time.
I've been keeping a low profile. I've been hiding from you. pestering me. I've been ignoring you. We just haven't got the...
You used to tell me, oh, we need to do a podcast. And I'm like, yeah. And then we never made it happen until I came here.
Well, I'm glad you're here. You're looking very tanned. You're in full tourist mode.
Full backpack on.
Yeah.
Coffee at one of the...
local hotspots, yeah.
What it was? By mistake. Mate, talk to us a little bit about Reach. You've been in the industry you've been here at this place for 7 years. It's an incredible facility, grown. Talk to us about how you started, because I think that's what's really interesting.
Yeah, so I'm old. 12 years in the industry, straight after university. Thought it'd be a good idea to try and give it a whirl. And yeah, 7 years on this site. So my background was in rugby, and I was kind of half decent at that. So was exposed through school and university to some high-level strength and conditioning.
Right.
So straight off the back of uni, thought, you know what? I want to open a place where you can train like an athlete or like a rugby player, really.
Yeah.
In terms of the kind of intensity and also that kind of team spirit and fun.
Yeah, right.
But getting people doing some good stuff.
Which, mate, when you say that now, people are like, yeah, they get that. But when you sort of started out with that, there was nothing really that did that. We'd sort of finished playing rugby, and then your only workout would be, or we'd finish at uni, and your only workout would be in a normal gym with one bloke and a stupid other bloke kissing his biceps in the mirror.
Oh, we all kiss our biceps. Come on, just occasionally. Yeah, absolutely. When we started here, you're talking Globo gyms, David Lloyd's Virgin Actives, and not a lot else. Zumba. I mean,
you did Zumba, didn't you?
I've never done Zumba,
mate. I've seen you do a lot of different things.
That's Animal Flow. That's not.
Okay.
That's not Zumba. But the choice was limited. CrossFit was just starting.
Yeah.
Or it's just starting to get popular.
Yeah.
So that was big in the States, probably just getting that burst in the States. But we're talking 2011. I think there was one CrossFit box in London. So pretty
Thames maybe. Or
Central London.
Under the railway arches.
Which was as CrossFit should be. I mean, I went up there when I moved to London. I was like, Jesus, you're talking. I mean, good setup, loads of barbells, but not really. It was very minimal. Very stark.
Which was a big sort of transfer for people that have only been in a Globo gym, in a Virgin Active, to go under the railway arches. They have a few barbells, or a lot of barbells, and a climbing frame in the middle. Yeah. That was it, wasn't it?
And off you go.
And it was freezing cold.
Very cold, and no showers. But that's what it is, and I suppose that was part of the appeal for some people, that it was kind of pretty on the dark side.
Yeah.
But also kind of doing stuff that was actually quite difficult for the average person. So when I opened, obviously before I opened here, I had pretty 5 years of coaching.
Right.
So one-on-ones, and then into looking after teams.
Right.
So started off looking after rugby clubs, and that was when I kind of realised you know what? These guys are fit. They're between, the ages of 17 and 30.
Yeah.
But they move terribly.
Right.
They're not the most powerful. They're not particularly strong. They don't really have much body awareness.
Yeah.
Let's make them better athletes. And that was kind of a big remodeling of, a couple of rugby teams.
I think the state of it back then was absolutely that. Like, people were fit. Like, rugby players were rugby fit. They could play for 80 minutes. Some strong lads, but actually biomechanically, we were all
horrendous.
Yeah. And that's probably why we were injured a lot. And the longevity of rugby players' careers was probably shorter than it should have been.
Yeah, just as rugby was getting serious, the actual quality of what they were doing was poor.
Yeah.
So I got the experience in terms of the group coaching with rugby clubs, and obviously then with some big name rugby players off the back of that. So that's where I started looking after people like James Haskell.
Yep.
So before the 2011 World Cup, I just moved to London, and then started looking after James kind of one-to-one and helping him with exactly that, movement and getting him back from injury, making him a better athlete. Because
he was probably one of the big name players that were started to address that issue, though, wasn't he? Probably mainly through you, really.
Yeah, it was great. We had a really good. We're still good friends now. I still go and watch him. Chat to him before England matches and see how he is. But he was one of the first people that outwardly took it a little bit more seriously. Bit of an American kind of model in terms of actually, preparing to perform rather than just hoping for the best. Actually, a lot of the rugby players I look after now are still, feeling a little bit kind of, we just still get crashed at training. We want to actually become better athletes, but we're still getting attacked every day, which maybe there needs to be a little bit more care for our athletes, I think.
Yeah. So you came into London with a sort of a vision or a dream of making people move better, and not only, you're in top end sport, but also the mass population as well, mate.
Yeah, 100%. So you want to make it results driven, but that's making people move better, making people stronger. And by stronger, it doesn't have to be via kettlebells and dumbbells. That can just be able to holding your body weight in that kind of gymnastic postures and having awesome core. And then obviously that element of conditioning, we all remember those horrible kind of tests when you were getting fit for rugby, up downs, pitches, shuttle runs, literally wanting to run off and cry. But an element of that, but in a fun way. And so, kind of had a year looking for a site in London. And
that must just be an incredible task, mate. Like, you move to London, it's a big city, competitive, expensive. You know what you want. Like, how do you go about looking for a site?
Yeah, I was still, I wasn't green in terms of my coaching ability. I felt pretty experienced at that stage. I'd, done 5 years of coaching, but in terms of, I'm a Shropshire lad. Kind of grown up out in the sticks. Coming down to London, you're like, bloody hell, this place is mental.
And bloody expensive.
Very correct. So moved to London and trying to find that place and literally just kind of walking around. I knew Clapham well, I suppose. It's that kind of area when you're growing up that when you come to London, you end up, having beers in Clapham. To me, ridiculous. Like Clapham was London. It was like, well, so this was the first port of call. But the way I looked about it in terms of, good bit of business acumen behind me. It was a little bit of market research in terms of, and I say that was like boots on the ground market research. Standing, watching sites,
watching people.
Watching. So standing outside places that were to let, kind of looking at footfall, looking at who was walking by, how far is it to this transport? What does the bus come by? Is the parking? All that kind of stuff. And there's some areas where the sites are great, but you're like, wow, this is a ghost town. So that's not going to be the one. That's a pretty awesome start to the story, though, isn't it? Because a lot of people, I think, miss that out these days, especially new gym owners, and then they end up with a location that, no one's coming here, but you sort of spent the time to probably sit out in the cold,
rain and actually watch what was happening in the area and landed up with this place.
Absolutely. No, it's great. I'd had my eye on this site, and then this unit that we're sitting in right now became available.
Right.
And I had to pull the pin on it pretty quickly. I was like, right, I think this is it.
Right.
And you've obviously got that massive fear.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I knew what I wanted to do. You close your eyes and you're like, I've got the vision.
Yeah.
I can see it all happening.
Yeah.
But at the moment, this is an office.
You're right.
You know what I mean? And and I have nobody coming through the doors.
Yeah.
So but you still got to commit. You've got to, you've got your vision and you've got to make it happen. But having said that, it wasn't like I had a big load of pot full of cash.
Right.
I'd saved up, I had 10 grand.
Right.
And I said to my dad, he totally backed the idea.
Right.
I'd explained what I wanted to do, and Dad stuck in. He was like, right, well, I'll give you 10 grand as well.
Nice.
So we actually opened the door to start this business with only £20,000.
Wow.
So when you've got businesses opening up now and they're spending £20,000 on their canapes on launch night, I'm like, you fucking idiots, what the fuck?
That's an awesome way to put it. But I mean, mate, this was the start. We're in the room that you started in, and it literally is a room, mate. It's, what are we, 100 square meters or something?
600 square feet down here.
That's it.
Yeah.
And that must have been like everything you had. 10 grand from your side. You've borrowed 10 grand from Dad.
Yeah.
You don't want to screw that up.
No,
you want to
don't.
give him a return.
And we didn't even spend all that money.
Really?
Yeah. I said to my dad, can I have 10? I'll give you 11 back as soon as I can.
Right.
And I wasn't, we actually thought, what do I need? What do I initially need to get people moving and getting my ideas into action?
Yeah.
So, right, what do we need? We need space. We're not going to fill this place up,
Yeah.
So down here, even now, floor space is key.
Yeah.
We had, we got a couple of battle ropes. And again, 2011, nobody was using battle rope. No. I actually was the first person to import a load of rope in like 2008, from Canada. They were like, what do you need this for? I was like, well, it ain't for a boat, So you couldn't buy them over here, so we got those. Wow. Kettlebells, not many kettlebells, literally 10 kettlebells. Yeah. A few dumbbells. Nothing, like speed ladders.
You had a concept too, though. You bought a concept.
We had a rower.
Yeah.
Had a rower.
That's every single small gym that starts.
Gets a rower.
You get one concept too.
They're dominating the world.
Yeah.
Concept two, I mean, surely they must be running for president soon or something.
Yeah.
So no, we didn't. You look around now and when you came in, you're like, wow, Rich, you've got everything.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. To be fair, early doors as well. Versa Climber were, I spoke to those guys. I was like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I'm already looking after elite athletes. I've got 30 people who are already signed up. They're loving it. I love what you do. Yeah. Can we get a Versa Climber down here? Yeah. So that was like a £3,000 piece of kit that arrived.
Wow.
From them. So that isn't something that a small business, look at it. I had, say, £20,000 to play with.
Yeah.
There's no way I was going to spank three on a Versa Climber. So thank you always to them.
Yeah,
and to this day, 7 years later, still have a great relationship with them. We got a shiny new Versa Climber right behind me.
Yeah, it's very nice.
And it now matches matches the colour.
It does match the colour scheme. Why did you call it Reach, mate?
Well, people, when I say Reach, they're like, what? You call it after yourself?
No,
it's not that. I sat and thought about what fitness and training was all about, and it's you're trying to achieve something,
right?
So what striving? You're trying to reach some goals. So
that was it.
I was, you kind of write words down on a piece of paper, and then so I had the word reach, and then I thought to myself, right, can I make a logo out of that? Yeah. And that's when started kind of that aspirational kind of hand.
Yeah.
And I was
so
like, that'll work.
That's in the R of. I'm just looking at your shirt. I'm not looking at your pecs. So that's the hand, isn't it? Yeah.
So it's kind of the way I look at it is some real strong sporting images. When you've got. I'm not just about UK sport, but when you've got that huge kind of bomb going in at the for NFL, and that hand that's going back in the end zone. There's that. Then you've got that kind of aspirational kind of hands up. Could also look a little bit like a high five. When you're on the floor and you're totally wrecked and you put your hand up to kind of get pulled up. So it worked.
Wow.
I suppose I could have changed it if it hadn't worked. But I thought it was a brand name that. Had some resonance with me, and it, the way you looked at it, it could have some meaning in sport and in life.
So you're open.
We're open.
First day. How was it?
First day, I just had to kind of text all my friends and say, look, please.
Can you please come to my new gym?
And we did 2 workouts in here on the first Saturday morning.
Yeah.
So we opened on the 5th of November 2011.
Right.
These stats are literally, like burnt into my brain. I can remember the first crew. I could name it.
Really?
My friend Scott was there. His wife Georgia was there. My friend Mike was there.
Yeah.
Mike, I'd done a little bit of PT with when I came to London, and we were out on the common, like hanging upside down on a TRX off a lamppost. And I was,
as you do.
Yeah, and I was talking to him about the business idea, and he could just see the passion I had. He was like, "Rich, you've got to do this,"
Yeah.
And I was like, so the confidence people had in you kind of helps you get through the door.
Yeah.
Gets you going. So yeah, day one, I think we had about 2 groups of 10.
Wow.
At a kind of 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock workout.
Wow.
Again, it was all like literally just down here.
Yeah.
It was super sweaty. It was, super fun. But again, you were like, right, we need to capture this and we need to spread the message. So, kind of getting some pictures, getting a few little videos, asking people then to, sending emails to those 20 and go, well, thanks so much for coming. Otherwise we would have been here and no one would have been here to play. But then, sent police, and we had no software. We had, it was all run off. All the membership was actually run off a spreadsheet. You're ticking names off. It was it was very, very, low key.
Do you think that's lost a little bit in today's, like, you've not been going a super long time, but 7 years compared to what we're seeing today for people is a long time. But like even 7 years ago, there was systems, there was social media and stuff, but it's changed a lot. Do you think the basics things that you did at the start there, sending an email to the people that came afterwards, do you think a lot of that is lost in
100%.
these days?
Absolutely, and we still try and do. The way I behaved as a business owner on day one, I still try and behave exactly like that now.
Right.
In terms of every person that comes through the door, super important. But not just because they're, you want them to join, and obviously that then helps you pay the rent.
For sure. Yeah.
But what's really important is you want them to get awesome. Like you still, myself and the team, its key focus is getting people having fun and enjoying the experience. And as soon as you don't get that, then you're on a bad path. And I suppose the essence is that a lot of the in the industry right now, there's lots of gyms and facilities that open up where the main people who put their balls on the line potentially aren't even there. They're just a businessman that's given over $100,000 or whatever. And then they're like, make a good job of that. They're not there really. They don't really have. They're looking at the P&L.
They just want their 15% return at the end of the year.
But they don't know. They don't know on if John, Mike, and Mary were in on the Saturday. There's no. So that's how we still try and run things. Every when our new staff have joined over the last 7 years, it's like you must learn everyone's name. You must learn things that find out about people so you can do your job better and you'll have a better time because you're going to get friends. So we've got so our community is not forced. And I'm not slating it, but your standard. And we're nothing to do with CrossFit. We just do there's activities that we do here that you do. If you're a CrossFit box, we have kettlebells, but we're not a cross. You know what I mean? So does everywhere. So does Virgin Active.
I think the definition of CrossFit, no one will ever define.
Exactly. But the point I'm trying to make is they bang on about community.
Yes.
Just because you open a CrossFit box doesn't mean you have a community or you're part of something. You have to make your own. You're not. You don't buy a community. You make one.
But those things that you spoke about there, mate, like learning people's names and sort of sending a follow-up email, nothing that you've said so far is rocket science. It's the most basic way to communicate with humans, but it takes time. And effort. Exactly.
And you need to be relentless with it.
And
you can't let it slide. And it does, and maybe people aren't prepared to do the hard work. I mean, you've done the long time. You've done the long hours and all those things. You have to be relentless about each person and commit to them. Otherwise, what are you doing? What are you here for?
Mate, you have an incredible amount of energy and passion, and it's obviously you had it on the first day. 7 years later, we're sat here. You still have an incredible amount of passion and energy, and it's like you probably don't sleep, or like you just could go for days. How do you keep that energy and passion? Because that's I think that's not only applicable to people that are gym owners or working in the fitness industry, but people need energy to live a full life. So how do you balance it and stay so full of energy?
I'm glad, I'm glad that you, like, showing you around someone that, on holiday 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, the kind of person that I am was the fact that I'm sitting on my sun lounger and most people are like, right, let's get on the cocktails.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, where can I go and train?
Yeah.
So fitness and training is my life.
Yeah.
So I'm not here just for show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've not just thought, let's just open a business and it's going to be fitness.
Yeah.
It's ingrained in me. So the passion I have for getting fit and training transfers into the business because I want people to feel what I feel from training and those benefits.
Yeah.
It's not easy though, is it? Like, everybody gets tired.
Yes.
Last night when you get home at 9:30, and you just feel like you're wrecked, and then you're like, wow, I've got to get up in the morning. But you know what? Sometimes you come in here and you feel totally wrecked, but then you get the energy from other people and the people that have come to be part of it, and that then gives you a real kick up the arse. And then if you are feeling tired or a bit down on yourself, then you've created something. And I suppose that's in every business. If you're not passionate, do something else or work for someone else. But because if you think that being an entrepreneur or opening a business in any field, if you're not totally passionate and committed to it, then it's probably not going to work. I suppose having the energy, I'm really proud of this place.
I can
so
see,
it's not difficult for me to come in and be buzzing about it. It's but on the flip side of that, I'm still human. And I still get tired, and you still get ill, and you think I'm hard on myself. You think should I be doing better? Should I be running the business more efficiently? All those type of things. So it's not easy every day. You have the ups and downs. But maybe the fact that I love the industry, I love actually personally pushing myself really hard in my own training. To this day, I'm fitter and I'm a better athlete now. I'm 35. I'm a better athlete by miles than when I was 21. Jesus, I wish, isn't it? I wish that I was like I was now when I was 21. I would have been, on the rugby field. I would have been, I was decent. I was good, but I would have been a whole different level. I was good enough not to get injured and be, go up the divisions and play high level. But, there's those times where I feel like I'm on my arse here, you know what I mean? But I would have loved to have been what I am now then and see what I could have done.
I think that's a big driving factor for me as well. Like you understand how your body can feel and how you can get that energy, and to be able to share that with other people and to see those people on that journey turning up to your gym day in, day out and just getting better and better and better. They change job, they get promoted, maybe they get divorced because she was a pain in the arse, and they get a new one and it's a lot better. But
and you see it all.
You see it. Right?
You do see it all. You see their journey, but you actually get that. The feedback from people is unbelievable. I mean, the physical feedback. We have people that sometimes come on their free trial here, and they poke their heads through the door and they just look terrified. You know what I mean? They look like they would do anything for the world to swallow them up, and they'd be home and don't have to take part. So you get someone like that, you get the hand on the shoulder, you get them in, you break the ice, and you say, look, we'll look after you, don't worry. First couple of sessions is going to be hard, but you're part of the family now. And then over 2, 3, 4 weeks, you see them getting way more comfortable. So they haven't progressed physically yet
at all.
But they're settling into the environment. They're more confident. Then 6 to 8 weeks, you start to see them being able to complete the workouts at a higher level. Then down the journey, 3 or 4 months, they're the ones looking after the new people and making sure that other people are comfortable. Then 2 or 3 years down the line, you're like, oh my God, you are an absolute beast. Can I? In one of our fuel sessions on a Monday night, can I jump in with you? I'm tired. I've had a really, really tough day. I know if I pair up with you, you're going to push me. So
amazing.
And when you witness that, you witness the person that's come in and looks like a tired little, little mouse, scared little mouse, and all of a sudden they're walking in, high-fiving you and swinging a 30-kilo kettlebell. You're like, what the fuck has happened here? So how can you not get energy off that?
And then. Huge.
When, unfortunately, I think most people sometimes, leave Reach maybe because jobs are changing, they're moving to a different city, they're moving an hour away across the other side of town. You get that feedback, those emails, those little messages going, I didn't want to take the new job, because it meant I couldn't come to reach.
Yeah,
and
that must be unreal.
Unbelievable. And so you can be that passion. You can be on a flat day, and don't get me wrong, like
you have bad days, right?
Oh my God, like you're walking around like a bear with a sore head.
Yeah,
and the whole team here are like, oh shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But that doesn't last too long. Hopefully you're pretty optimal some of the time anyway. But then you might be on a real low ebb, and then you get a little message from someone saying, hey Rich, just want to let you know that being part of the Reach community has changed my life. I feel like a whole different person, and I can't thank you enough. The literally type of things where you sit and read and you got a lump in your throat,
of course,
and you're like, wow, that's incredible. And luckily enough, at the top of the business, I try and give feedback, let everybody know in the team the people are saying these things, but that's what you get directly as the kind of head of the business. So that picks you up, and that keeps you passionate, and that might be where you're a bit down on yourself, and you're like, no way can we let this slide. You got to push on, because we're doing amazing stuff for people, and that's me and the whole team.
Mate, when it comes to training, we spoke a little bit at the start about the need for different training. Talk to us a little bit about what you believe in and what you sort of deploy within what you're teaching here, and also how maybe that's changing, because I'm sure you're doing stuff now sort of 5-7 years on that's a lot different, which actually, in my opinion, makes you a lot better facility, because you're understanding that things are changing. So let's jump into the training side of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, always back in the day, we started off with what do you need to perform as an athlete? So that's always been that movement, strength, and conditioning element. And then I created 3 workout types from that.
Right.
So there was a workout called Fuel, which is more of a conditioning workout. A workout called Rebel Fit, which is a strength element, and then Warrior, which was supposed to be a crossover of the two.
Right.
So, but within each of those, movement preparation and activation for at least the first 10 minutes.
Yes.
And that can be, it's mainly all body weight in the group environment.
Yeah.
But you can do a hell of a lot from that. But controlling your own body weight is key.
Yes.
So you're talking, can people hinge? Can people squat?
Yeah.
Can people, work their hip line? Can they tilt their pelvis? Work the scaps?
Yeah.
Then can we activate, key muscle areas? So glute activation. So our warm-ups, we have a joke where I look around and I'm going, fucked in the warm-up. You know what I mean? And there's people looking at me going, this is the hardest 10 minutes of my life.
Yeah.
Because it's intensive, and you're getting people ready, primed to perform,
to do something. Do you find, mate, because we find exactly the same problem, and it's like something that might be not easy for you or I, but pretty straightforward, because we can move. Are you seeing an increasing number of people that are having issues such as they literally just can't, their hips are just so damn tight that you get them to hold a beast position for 15 seconds
and they're on fire.
They just can't do it. They can't make it through, for example, to bar to beast.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. I love it when you skin it right back, and the most simple move, and holding a beast position isn't a simple move. You're like, oh my God, I'm tucked under, I'm on fire. Yeah. But something like that if you look through the door and we're like, hey, that doesn't look too difficult. Yeah, you want to try this? Yeah. Something very simple. What it does, it allows people to get their body awareness up. Yeah. It smashes people's egos to pieces because they come in and they think they might be gym fit or rugby fit or netball fit.
Yeah.
Well, they're not.
They can't move their body.
Yeah. So you strip it back, you make it simple, and all of a sudden people's brains are like, oh my God. So that, again, and it does get rid of the ego. And what's good is most humans are quite, what would be the word? They want knowledge, right?
Right.
So they're like, oh, I thought I was good.
Yeah.
I thought I could do this, but look, I can't even do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
So it's quite, it opens the door as a coach to be able to, to get them on fire in terms of wanting to get better. So, and then when you look at the strength elements, I mean, to be honest, you can do hours of just body weight and activation. It's super important. But then when you move into what is strength, that can still be body weight.
Yeah.
But then we like to use those kind of tools that are kind of all abilities can use.
Yeah.
So dumbbell, kettlebell for your strength work, and I'm talking lots and lots of multi-plane movements.
Yeah.
So again, if you when people say to me, "Oh, Rich, what's wrong with CrossFit? Why don't you like the standard CrossFit?"
Yeah.
To me, there's no rotation.
Very single plane.
Very single plane. There's no lateral movement.
Yeah.
And it's not because the coaches aren't. The coaches all know they need that stuff, but CrossFit is designed to be measurable.
Yeah.
And you can't measure a wood chop, and you can't measure, a windmill.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's obviously, although people are going to probably include it in their programming, it's not going to be a mainline thing.
Yeah.
Whereas here, we're running that. We want people to move in all directions.
Yes.
We want people to go from a kettlebell swing to a windmill to a crab grab, or So every plane of movement is demanding.
Yeah.
So they're getting, again, if you're in the city for 12 hours a day,
yeah,
and you got to work on a Saturday morning as well because got to go in there and do some more work, and you've only got 3 hours to train in the week. We want each workout to be giving as much benefit as possible.
Yeah.
So, that's why every workout you're going to have each plane of movement ticked, all the loading tick, get some rotation in there, get some body weight in there, and get some heart rate in there.
And so your training system that is programmed today on those 3 class pillars, is the foundation of it and the theory of it is still the same from the start, or did you invent those classes at the start? What's the change?
Yeah, those classes have been with us since the start.
Amazing.
So Fuel, Rebel, Fit and Warrior have been with us from the start.
Yeah.
We've added on as we've grown and got larger numbers of people in and seen a larger load of issues.
Yeah.
We've added in Raw,
right,
which people think, it's an easy workout. It is not. But it is. But the music's a little bit less, intense. There's
not so much gangster rap.
Yeah, LL Cool J is not on. I don't put my 5-finger death punch on, which I'm well known for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you've got to get that going on.
We'll
You've
have
got
to check out your playlist.
Big red handprint on your face and mosh around. So that allows us to have that kind of lower intensity in terms of what's I say what's expected. They're hard, but it's a lot more focus on movement.
Yeah.
Then it's all about that hinge and squat.
Yeah.
And then at the end, it is conditioning, but it's more of an individual feel.
Yeah.
So the design of that isn't a relay, say me, you, and John.
Yeah.
Where John might be feeling like, Jesus, Rich and Marcus are toasting me. I'm holding them back.
Yeah.
It'll be a relay off time.
Right.
So me, you, and John are still trained together, but it's off the clock.
Yeah.
So John works as hard as me and you.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really matter how fit you are because you're all going to put each other in the bin anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just a little bit more program for the kind of elements in terms of building the building blocks and the starters. Yeah. And then on top of that, we've got Mayhem, which you have to get ticked off in terms of movement quality,
so
strength,
it's a class that you progress to.
So you've got a little bit on, a little foundation at the bottom of the pillars, and you've got a little bit of progression at the top. Right. Having said that, like I say to everyone that comes through the door, you can go extreme, in our mainline, Fuel, Rebel, Fit and Warrior.
Yeah.
You can, if you're the fittest person, honestly, I would say the fittest person in the world could come in here and get toasted in a Fuel. No question.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. But we program it cleverly so that the absolute beast, whether that be professional rugby player, Iron Woman, professional swimmer, professional beast, you know what I mean? Can train with someone who has not really been in the gym for the last 5 years. To a degree, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mate, I've noticed, and we've spoken about this back and forward, you've incorporated a lot more. You do a lot of yoga. You also, I've noticed walking around this morning, a lot of animal flow movements within your classes. Yeah. Talk to us about the rise of that, why you went to it, what the benefits that you found personally, because I think you're sort of a great disciple. You're a rugby player. You're a big guy, but you're posting stuff. You're doing yoga often.
Oh, often. I probably now do it more than my actual kind of hardcore stuff.
Really?
The hardcore, No, I no longer lift. Nah, of course not. There's a big balance for me.
Yeah.
Over the years, it's been a big shift for me. Yoga's come in when I was over in the States, looking after the beach volleyball team. GB do have a beach volleyball team. I know.
You're in charge of it. It sounds
crazy.
Like a disaster.
They were good. Greg and Jody, absolute legends. I still love those guys. They're such fun to be around. But I was out in the States, and I think they got a bit fed up of me just killing them on the beach, So they were like, "Oh, let's go to hot yoga." And this place was insane. It was hot in the studio, but it was also in a greenhouse, so you can imagine the fun. So I'd never done yoga before. This was 2012, and it must have been about 62 degrees in this place, and totally off the charts. But what I saw there was guys who, big dudes, decent muscle, and were moving well. And I enjoyed it. It was demanding. Bloody hell, this is a good addition. Yeah. And then you start looking into that kind of, right, do a little bit of look into this in terms of recovery and prehab and rehab. And you're like, okay, I enjoyed that. And there's something in this science-wise.
Yeah.
So when I came back, luckily enough, there was a place called Yoga Haven, which was just pretty much opening about half a mile from here.
Oh, wow.
And again, run by a really great group of people.
Yeah.
So I went up there and started doing a bit of yoga. And don't get me wrong, it was once every 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
But that journey, all of a sudden, now I love it. Big yogi. So I'm there. I probably do 3 or 4 yoga sessions a week.
Yeah.
And I've got pretty damn good at it. But what has that actually enabled me to do is the question.
Yeah.
So I now find that my body weight training, my core and my gymnastics strength is off the charts.
Right.
I feel like you can ask me to do all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And because of that, learning, I was good at learning, controlling my body.
Yeah.
But now that kind of deep activation, control of the pelvis and the hip line and tucking your diaphragm, all those type of things, that has really helped me.
Yeah.
So now I feel a hell of a lot stronger, probably from doing less of the strength stuff.
So all these people that are trying to slam gymnastics movements, working on the pull-ups the whole time, we know that a lot of it is sort of that midline stabilization that they're not able to do. Yeah. You've learnt that through yoga.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, and I find that the little things, the little tweaks are the big wins.
Yeah,
and so that's been great fun. I also, when you were talking earlier on about how I've managed to actually hold myself together as a human being.
Yeah.
Obviously, I drink a lot now. I mean, yoga has given me that space.
Right.
So as a business owner, it's hard not to be connected. 24, literally 24/7.
Yeah.
Like I have to fight not to check my emails, not to check socials.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Tough.
Yeah.
It is
so
tough.
That hour where the phone is definitely tucked away.
Yeah.
And you have got, I don't always do hot yoga, but when you're doing hot yoga, when it's 38 degrees, you can't think of anything else.
Yeah.
You're upside down.
Yeah.
You got sweat running off your head like you're in a shower.
Yeah.
You cannot think about your to-do list.
Really?
It's impossible. I find it's quite freeing.
Yeah.
So you come out of there and you feel way more, up for your tasks.
Yeah.
So that's been massively helpful. And then you add those structural movements in with your clients.
Yeah.
It's tough to do it in the group environment, but we add some of the static yoga work into the group environment. Yeah. But with my athletes, like all the boys I look after from Harlequin, so Jamie Roberts, James Hallwell, Will Collier, they're all international rugby players. You've got 2 there. Obviously, Will's a lot younger. He's got a couple of England caps. But, James and Jamie, they are international stalwarts of the game. They've got hundreds of caps between them.
Yeah.
Getting those guys now, incorporating all the more, the normal movement and mobility stuff, getting them activated, foam rolling, stick work, but then yoga flows, body weight control, and then adding in the animal flow, then they're becoming, way more, hopefully longer careers and actually better athletes. And unfortunately, those guys would tell you, I suppose they're kind of pissed off that they probably haven't been doing this kind of stuff for a lot longer. Same
as what we were saying just a bit earlier, isn't it? How do how did you move then into sort of the more animal stuff and animal flow? I mean, it's I guess 10 years ago, Ido Portal came on the scene, and I remember seeing him for the first time walking on the outsides of his ankle, and like, this guy's a bit weird, and but it's kind of, and people have tried to term it and trademark it in certain ways. How did you get into that, mate? And talk us through some of the benefits you've seen from it.
I suppose the reason the evolution of myself as an athlete, as a coach, and as a business owner has all probably come around from the fact that I am bloody interested in training.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So,
as opposed to the bottom line.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I probably have to pay a little bit more attention to that these days.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to, travel around the world.
Yeah.
When I'm, whether it be a business trip or a holiday, meet good trainers, learn from them. Yeah. What do they do? And that exact example of seeking you out when I was on holiday. But so when I was in Miami, and I've been to Miami a lot for work over the last few years, but my first trip was like, right, let's go out and see what's going on out there.
Really?
And there was 2 or 3 gyms out there that were totally dominant, really, in animal movement. So, Primal Fit Miami, a chap called Matt Pack, who I still kind of track down and follow his bits and pieces. That led me to checking out Mike Fitch, who's like, got his own body weight training system, which is animal flow based. I was like, love this stuff. And again, they were using it at Primal Fit. They were using it in terms of conditioning workouts. So again, it was learn the movements, and then can we do them at high frequency and a little bit of speed. So enjoyed that thoroughly. And then when I came back, sort out who the hell's doing this here? And that is another element of making Reach a successful business, is having a great team of trainers. So one of the team is Rachel Thompson, who is, I think one of the most highly qualified and most passionate animal flow instructors in the UK. Totally insane what she can do, and her coaching fits what we do here. But again, you have to have the blend. So my own coaching and my own athleticism comes from lifting, from wanting to do good conditioning or brutal conditioning, and yoga and animal flow. Rachel's the same. She specializes in animal flow, but Jesus Christ, she's as strong. She can lift, and she wants to get on the Versa climber and light it up. She's not a one-trick pony, so a well-rounded coach. So anyway, I kind of just dropped her a line, and it took me literally a day to get her in here. I was like, right, do some one-on-ones on me, train me, she built up my quality a little bit. And don't get me wrong, I've never said I'm an animal flow instructor. I'm not. I don't really have the time to go on.
That's why you're succeeding so well, mate, because you're not going out there saying, I'm the best at this. We get so many people in the fitness industry and into the famous people. I'm suddenly the guru at this because I did the course last weekend. What we've learned is over time, you've sort of incorporated these things. You've seen the benefit. You've tried it on yourself. You've gone into play. It's real, mate. Like how many gym, you've got a gym here that you want to expand, and we've expanded from this room to the whole block, but you're taking time out to go to Miami. And Miami's nice for a holiday, but you're actually going there to seek these people out. It's a completely different mindset, isn't it?
It is. You want to be, it's not just for show, is it? You want to actually, you go there and you want it to be, it's lifestyle. It's part of you. And again, yoga now, I think I've probably done over 500 hours of yoga practice.
Wow.
Now, just to skin this back, on my social media profiles, I do not say I'm a yoga instructor.
No.
Am I bloody good at controlling my body weight and understanding the mechanics of my body? Yes. Could I, if you said right now, Rich, 12 people are going to walk in, you're going to do a yoga class? Yes, I could. But that's not, that's because I've done the time. And I know the body weight stuff.
Isn't it frightening though that there'll be coaches out there that have done less than 100 hours practice in their chosen discipline? Terrifying and disappointing would be the words. I mean, I think, yoga, I think the general standard of qualifications and maybe to get a job in London, you have to maybe to do 200 hours. Right.
But look at that. I've done 500 at least, so
I wouldn't call you a yogi either.
I need more tattoos, and I need some kind of,
you need some hair.
I need hair, and I probably need some kind of sari, and I need to wear sandals more. No. But that's the good thing, isn't it? It's breaking down barriers. You look at me, I am as far away from a yogi look as possible, So when I go in and, I'm in a yoga studio, before it starts, probably people are about to prepare and laugh their heads off at me. It's probably because there's girls draped in as much Lululemon as is humanly possible, and they're thinking, "Oh, this guy is going to be shit," But then, you know what? I'm actually pretty decent. But that breaks down the barriers, doesn't it? And actually, over time, over the last 5 or 6 years, I've noticed that there is a bigger range of guys in yoga, and there are guys in rugby shorts, and there are guys in martial arts kit, and it's okay. And now I used to hide at the back and be literally dying, and now I'm at the front, not because I want to show off, because I want to be able to see exactly what's going on with my hips. I want to see where my hips are, where my shoulder blades are. It's serious. The other day I went to yoga yesterday, and the receptionist was chuckling away. I was like, "Kim, what are you laughing at?" and she was like, "Oh, someone just was talking about you," and I was like, "Oh God, what?" They're like, "No, they thought you were an osteopath."
Oh, really?
From the level of detail that they had witnessed me kind of working on my alignments and stuff in the class. And so, but that is the key thing. It's listening to the instruction.
Yeah.
So don't be in a posture, and this isn't just in yoga, this is in any coaching environment.
Yeah.
If you're in a group training environment, yoga, a place like Reach, a place like InnerFight, it's like, listen to the coaching points, take it on board, and try and tune in and get it right.
Yeah.
Because if you don't actually work it, it's not going to happen on its own.
Yeah, true. Mate, you said something there, and that I can see the picture of you walking into a yoga studio, probably in a set of rugby shorts and everyone in Lululemon, but you said something about breaking down barriers. London's quite a free place and people kind of do what they want, but what's your thoughts on people that, they are very shy going into new environments, and then you've got other people that are comparing themselves against others that have they're completely different goals, and we sort of sometimes get caught up, or we seem to be more getting caught up in fitness of comparing our success or measuring our success against others that are on a completely different path. You see a lot of that?
It's hard, isn't it? Because people get drawn into the whole social media whirlwind of what they could, should, would be doing. And spending more time worrying about that than actually, how about you put the phone down and go and do something?
Yeah.
But then actually, I think there's too much information almost.
Yeah.
Information overload. What's the right choice?
Yeah.
And I suppose it's easy for us because we're switched on in terms of we know what we want to do, we know what's good, and we know what's bad.
Right.
And I could probably name you, say right now, there's, 50 group training gyms in London that I could name.
Yeah.
And I would only say that maybe 5 of those are actually worthwhile going to.
Yeah.
Because the level of coaching there at the other venues is poor, and they're not. You're not going to see a strength and conditioning coach. You're actually going to be trained by a part-time model. But that's how it's got, isn't it?
And that's if they're not too busy making an Instagram post to train you or something like that.
Exactly. But I mean, don't get me wrong. We obviously, social media for me as a business owner, I have to do it.
Yeah, you have to. Man.
Would I love not to? Every day I would certainly love to have a break from it.
Yeah.
But then sometimes if you think, if I haven't posted on Instagram for 2 days, people think I'm dead. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, but maybe we should try and step away from that. But particularly for certain people that coming into fitness and thinking they want to start something, then the kind of breaking, where should you go? How to trust people, how to find good coaching, how to find a good place to be. It's tough. And then how not to get freaked out by someone on showing their six pack on on Instagram. I popped a post up the other week about it's what you can do. Six pack comes from that. If you turn up, if you listen to good coaches, if you enjoy the process, you're going to get good at stuff, and getting good at stuff equals results. And then and if that result is you being more ripped and looking better on the beach, if that's what you're after, great. But how about worrying about what you can do? I mean, you can't be shredded all the time.
You can try, mate. We've spoken a lot about a lot of different things, but what I genuinely feel is that through what you guys teach and through the way that you conduct the business, a lot of your mentality is in the basics. You imported battle ropes. Like, it's one of the oldest tools that we've got in the gym. Talk to us a little bit about just doing basics well, because you've obviously done a lot of very simple things very well in your business and in your own training.
Yeah, I mean, people get carried away, don't they? They don't. I think you've got to give time to the important stuff.
Yeah.
Because people just want to do the fancy stuff, right? But then over time, you go, I don't actually need the fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Like if you said in terms of working out, for me to get great at doing Olympic lifts, I have to spend the next 6-8 months doing Olympic lifts. But then that would have a bad effect on all my other training. Yeah. So how about I just do the stuff that gives you big bang for your buck to make you as good in as many areas as you can. Amazing. So what do you actually want? You want to be able to control your body, and you want to be able to be, hit those ratios, in terms of deadlift, front squat and overhead press. And if you can hit good ratios in those, hey presto, you're a pretty decent athlete, right? And if you can jump on a ski erg, a rower, and a salt bike and hit some good splits, or me and you jump on a assault bike and see who kind of dies first. But if you want to just general health, then stick to the basics. And if you master that, that's going to give you longevity for your whole life.
Yeah.
Because in the end, we're all going to get old.
Yeah.
And in old age, you just want to be having fun, right? You want to be able to walk.
Yes.
You want to be able to maybe play golf and tennis.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be being an elite athlete. You're not going to be in the Commonwealth Games when you're 65. But you do still want to be able to walk down the street and carry your shopping.
Carry your shopping, yeah.
So I think you need to... Having said that, you still want to put goals in place, and if there's an event you want to put your neck on the line and say, I want to do that, then train for it. But then maybe afterwards go back to the basics. I've got people at the moment, there's a couple of girls from here that are doing an Ironman, half Ironman next weekend.
Wow.
So they've actually put their whole training has changed to be ready for that. And actually, they said to me last week, once we've done that, can we just go back to basics? Because I think my deadlift's gone to shit. I'm like, you're going to be weak now. So maybe always come back to basics. Whatever you're going to do, come back to basics. In terms of business, like you said earlier on, like what I do or what I've done here, well, you say it's not rocket science, but when you go and look at other gyms, maybe it kind of is.
Maybe it is, Maybe saying hello to people and smiling in this day and age is the rocket science, isn't it?
Exactly, but we can sit here and have a little laugh about it. But I've seen it. I mean, I've gone to facilities where within 5 minutes, I know it's going to be shit.
Yeah.
And not just the business, the way the business is run, but I know the session. I've looked at the board and I'm like, well, that programming's poor. The main instructor looks like he couldn't give a shit to be here. He hasn't said hello. He looks hungover. Where's the owner? I don't know, but so to me it's not rocket science. To you it's not. But the fundamentals in your training and your life seem to be missed. Maybe, but what the hell are these people doing? I don't know.
It's interesting.
What are they doing with their time?
Mate, we could crack on, I think, for another hour. We haven't spoken about food. There's so much more we could talk about, mate. We'll have to promise each other we'll do another show.
I have to come on holiday again.
You have to come on holiday and give us another bit of your time. But, mate, it's been absolutely awesome. Loads of really valuable stuff there. I want to close out, mate, which we do often with one simple question. Through all of your experiences, what's the one piece of advice you'd give to people that you found just has helped you in everything?
Oh God, the tough ending
It's hard,
question.
mate. It's hard.
It's so easy just to like chat about life and swinging kettlebells.
No, I want one piece of advice that you want to share with all of our listeners. I'll keep talking so that you have time to think about it. That's generally what
I need a lot of time.
And distract people. What's the one piece of advice that you'd say to people that is really, that, you know, you just sort of apply to a lot of things that you do?
Yeah, I suppose there's loads of really, and I could come up with some yoga psalm here that you do at the end, like namaste, you know, be nice to everybody.
You've got believe written on the ceiling above your head.
I
mate.
know, it's an easy win for me. Literally, Marcus is not lying. If I look up, so that was one of the first things I wanted to put in this gym. We've got some crazy stuff on the walls here. We got some quotes from rock stars and stuff like that, which totally, you know, they drink Jack Daniels for a living, and it's on our gym wall. But that pretty much sums up the place. But yeah, we'll go with that. I mean, it's on a couple of the walls, you know. Next door we have Achieve, Believe. On the roof here, I'm sitting right underneath it, is Believe. So basically, when you get off a assault bike and you're absolutely dying and you can just about open your eyes, there it says Believe. But I think you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to put time aside to actually make that possible as well. So these things are not going to happen. You're not going to become an awesome businessman if you're not going to put the blood, sweat and tears in, and you're not going to become an awesome athlete if you don't put the time aside to do it. So set your goals and believe that you can do it, but also you know, put the time aside to make it happen. I keep saying this recently about people want to go from A to D without going A, B, C and D. You have to do that. You have to do that in business, and you have to do that in your training. So build it up block by bit by bit. And enjoy the process, and maybe realise that it's not all going to be a straight line. There's going to be some ups and some downs, but enjoy it.
Mate, thank you so much. I'm sure the folks have got a lot of value from what you've said, and we will do another podcast. We'll jump into food, we'll jump into all different things, but thank you, Rich, and thank you for giving the world reach. It's awesome, mate.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.